Damn, what kind of Bateman walk are we having this fine evening? I'm thinking an old one that isn't actually very good. No, that intro's old. Laplace Point. That's an old intro. Um, Older than it was so old I didn't remember how boring it was. Hey, here's a minute of Final Fantasy. Let's go. Anyway, yo. How you guys doing this fine evening? Oh man. Another stream, another Monday, another walk through the jungle. How's everyone doing this night? or evening. Actually, time zones exist. Break on the Rocks, thanks for the secret first. Whole bunch of followers. Norris Black, thanks for the tier 1. I appreciate it for 12 months. Appreciate it. TYVM. B Lever, thanks for the Prime. Appreciate that. So much well, yeah, true. Please enjoy my streams without watching ads. Because really, at this point, imagine watching ads, right? At least on Twitch. Kahi with the watch streak. Aloe Tack with the watch streak. Let's take a look at the old YouTube side. Jesus, the comments. I got a lot to chew through before we start the stream proper. MC says, HeyWoah, where do we grab your music playlist? Do you mean the one I use for stuff like what you're seeing right now? Do you mean my intros? Some of the YouTube playlist that I play on stream that I've meticulously discovered the DMCA robots don't shoot me for? Kind of still building that one, I'm going to be honest. Oh, you know what? I haven't prepared that one for later in the stream when I talk about stuff. You reminded me. I appreciate it. Let me just get that one loaded up in the background. Okay, we're safe. Marked safe from not having music later. Hey, thanks a lot. Anyway, I have a video on my channel. I posted it like, I don't know, 2 years ago or something. It had a bunch of my stream intro music that I played. There's some on HeyWoah Plus. I don't know that I just have a playlist chilling. That's one of the things that I recently decided to do. But you gotta understand that my playlist is like heavily edited because I'm trying not to get DMCA'd, at least on the Twitch side of things anyway. On YouTube Live, you just kind of give up. I click off to the monetization on YouTube Live because I like having music at all. Anyway, apologies for that. Look at this dude. Belcetra's, yeah. Any chance you could link your awesome rock jazzy playlist? I don't know, maybe in the future, we'll see. I have a thing set up for it. In the future, I'm gonna do like I don't know. In the future, I was thinking, because as people new to the channel have no doubt discovered, I go on a little walk, right? And we talk. And people type and I respond to it. Kind of like the gimmick of live content. And most people, I imagine, are just like painting or whatever after work. And so since that's kind of true anyway, I don't know, at some point I thought I would do like a HeyWoah radio stream where it's just like music and people are just working in the background. For the next 2 months, I'm trying to achieve certain metrics live so that I can qualify for something, but then after that, I don't have to give a shit about live metrics ever again. And so I can do stuff that'll essentially kill the viewership, but is fun. And a small percentage of people really like, you know? Play like Road Warden streams and waifu games and old SNES, Genesis stuff, you know? That's in the future. HeyWoah Radio flat. Yeah, happy Big Monday, amigo. Yeah. Hey, well, you see the Adepticon announcement? Yeah, I did. I'm going to talk about it for the news. I got it queued up over here. I got it all queued up. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Yeah, Road Warden was comfy. Love it. Big fan. Might play it again and finish it on stream or something. Genesis, yes. Waifu, you don't care. See, that's what I'm saying. The people who like it really like it, but there isn't a lot of them. Kind of like my channel. Road Warden goated, true. Did you finish P3R? No, I stopped. This is a 2-month period of time where all my streams have to be kind of popular for metric reasons, but then if I end up qualifying for partner, I will immediately stop caring and go back to doing whatever I want. It's just Games Workshop gave me a great opportunity to suddenly care about having a 75 viewer average on Twitch. Because Games Workshop is like, we're going to come out with big news basically every week. So when you go live, people are going to want to talk about it. Is the news good news? No. Well, okay, 50-50. A lot of it is 4th edition Age of Sigmar stuff, which so far, everything looks great. It's shit that we've wanted for years for them to do. And then the other half is like, eat shit, bitch. Your army's gone. Your army's in that other game now. Fuck you, you know? So, like, it's good and bad. As far as people clicking on stuff, it's good. In fact, negative things are better than positive things with respect to people clicking on stuff. Normally, I would have some sort of principled stance on that. And
Which prime?
be like, oh, let's be adults here. I'm going to do the good stuff anyway, but suddenly I have to care about metrics. Can't eat principles for dinner. Lenny Face Larry, thanks for the big prime. Appreciate it for 2 months on the Twitch side. Bad news is better for views. It is, bad news is way better for views. It's by a factor of something like 3-to-1, depending on the back end. The problem with always leaping upon bad news is that when you keep doing that, the community you attract are gutter trash, just the lowest dregs of society. And if you give a shit about having a community, it's a hard balance to try to mostly do negative stuff, but then have a Discord not filled with fucking shitheads. So, you know, I guess that's like a downside to it. I prefer if they do something good, I celebrate it. And if they do something bad, I kind of shit on them for it. And, you know, kind of seems reasonable. Just don't take perks and upload VODs, dude. SG Arcade trying to be some kind of Asmon Gold editor or something over there. He's off the perk sometimes. But also, imagine believing you. The GW squats models no one cared about anyway. People actually typing in the comments, is he serious? I think he's a sociopath. Okay, psychologist, yeah. Yeah, he's serious, yeah, 100%. Thumbnails are basically headlines. You believe those too? How old are you? Anyway, if you keep your distance, you can find a certain entertainment value from it. Does anything good come out of the gutter? Clowns, yeah, it. You think lots of people proxy miniatures in AOS? They currently do. It's a very hobby-focused game. Normally what I do, I don't know how many people on the YouTube side are new here, but normally I mostly just stick to Age of Sigmar. I would not say that I'm a 40k content creator. I've done like 3 videos total tangentially related to 40k ever. I don't play the game. I like the setting and I like the setting a lot. And some of the factoids I think are very nice. I think the setting is genius, as a matter of fact. Shits on AOS's setting. But I'm more of a gameplay kind of guy. And I really like Age of Sigmar's gameplay. And I'm not very interested in 40k's gameplay. Plus there's not really an army for me. So, you know, there it is. I typically go to do the AOS kind of stuff. And so in AOS, the Fox Mask, which is where I'm getting to here with this Pauk, it's a lot more hobby focused than 40k seems to be. Tons of scratch build stuff, tons of kit bashing all over the place. Some outright proxies with extra bits put all on over them. We never much cared about what Games Workshop wanted us official paint scheme wise to paint our guys. And so we just didn't. I'm not saying it's a better thing, it's just a different thing. HeyWoah 40k is the HeyWoah for 40k. Oh, should I copyright that? Hey, if I ever fall upon hard times in my life, hold up. Let's check the stats on that video that I just uploaded like an hour ago. Let's see, 2 hours ago, 2,000 views, huh? Okay. Hey, if I ever fall upon hard times, I won't need to tell you. You'll see 40k uploads start happening, and you'll be like, oh shit, HeyWoah's got a medical condition, he's got to pay for it. Yeah, Dark Days in the HeyWoah Tower. You Laugh You Lose stream where he puts a slime making video on for children and leaves for 3 hours. The dream. The absolute dream. Right? Could be a sudden medical bill, or he could be buying a new army. Can't tell with this community. I've played ogres for 8 years. I just like Beast Claw Raiders. I'm happy with them. Sometimes they suck. Sometimes they're good. Usually they're lower middle of the pack, about in the 45% range, you know. I don't mind, I like them. Not really trying to buy a new army. I bought one army essentially twice by collecting pieces of it again so that I could paint them better and customize them more. Have them smashing more stuff on their bases, you know. I'm not really one of those keep buying armies kind of guys for the most part. Hope Games Workshop will make a HeyWoah miniature one day. You would buy it? I don't know if they're in the business of doing that. And if they were, they would probably choose more important content creators than me. It's unfortunate that AOS is a niche hobby, otherwise you would make numbers. Yeah, probably. But, you know, just as in relationships, you can't choose who you love. Right? It's okay. Krago and Tyrant's Maneater list is your winner. Dude, Kragnos and Tyrants is sick. It's also fun. I played that list like twice, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. It felt like I had a double barrel shotgun. And if I missed, I lost. But you could do the gun cocking blast sound effect every time they charged something. It was hilarious. 3 up mortal wounds, Jesus. It was the big fish in a relatively small pond of AOS creators, I suppose, yeah. Video wise, maybe. It's interesting because when I started making videos, I'm like, I'm not gonna tell people to like and subscribe. That's when I'm watching a video, I'm annoyed when the guy says that, so I'm not going to say it. Apparently that's really important. Everyone hates it when you say that, they whine about it, but it literally really works. I have a terrifically small number of subscribers for having a few videos with a few 100,000 views, apparently. But no, I'll stand by this one. Yeah, or the thumbnails with the man's face in them doing the soy jack thing. Maybe I should, like, chill out and just not sabotage myself with this made-up stuff that doesn't really matter. You know? One of the great online philosophers of our time, Asmongold, once said, the best apology is good content. Just constantly keep making good content. And if you put all that crap in there and you're annoying and you're clickbaiting and you put as many advertisements as you possibly can in your video, if your shit's good, it doesn't matter. Good here would be subjective, I guess. Yeah, red circle and a blurred out model. GW dying, question mark, down, stock market, arrow. I could have gone a lot harder in the paint on the thumbnail for today, because it's kind of a clickbait thing, but I wanted to keep it clean, I think. Hope you and dudes like Honest Wargamer have been around for a long time. It's what you consume while painting and breakfast. Oh, nice. Yeah, thanks for liking my stuff. You like AOS for the game and the community? You like 40K's lore? Yeah, that's about how I would agree. I like 40K's setting a lot, and some of the lore. But I like Age of Sigmar the game quite a bit, and the community way more. Who's in the thumbnail? That would be Sigourney Weaver. The lead from a movie called Alien. It was a progressive film with an empowering, strong female lead. From the year 1979. Fairly recent kind of thing. You ever think AOS can catch up to 40K? Not in a million years, no. In numbers? No way. You think the game's strongest feature is the faction diversity? Yeah, I think it is too, as Zag. I think Age of Sigmar's strongest features are the models and the faction diversity. 40K is too entrenched. You can't unseat it. You can't even really catch up to it. If they remade 40K today, it wouldn't even catch up to itself, in a sense. It's got the benefit of momentum and history behind it. Ahem. Aren't the Sister Sounds female version of the Casotes? Not really. But I'm not a 40K super expert. The Sisters of Silence are a different thing. Uh, 40K is amazing aesthetically and on the surface level, but becomes increasingly lame the more you learn about the details and specifics. Oh, okay. Huh. Have you checked out Conquest? No. People keep recommending me Conquest and one-page rules and all this other stuff. And I try to be polite, but I just let them know, hey, I'm not shopping for like war games to play. I don't care. I found one that I like. I'm not like a fan of war games, and I just dabble like I'm at a buffet. I ordered a steak, I'll eat a steak, thanks. It's like Magic the Gathering. Oh, you like Magic? That means you like card games and are always on the lookout for the next card game. Have you tried Yu-Gi-Oh? Bro, I just like Magic. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh sucks. But thanks. Have you tried one-page rules? You can use your Beastmen there. I got news for you. The problem with Age of Sigmar is not that the rules weren't short enough. GW would have to end times 40K to give AOS even a chance to catch up, perhaps, yeah. I don't know that they would do such a thing. I'm just realistic about Age of Sigmar, that's all. I like it. I like the game. Setting could use some work. You know, setting, story, all this stuff. We've gone a long way from first edition. It's a lot better. Onwards and upwards. Hey, just keep improving it though. Keep on that. And it's partly because, well, it's a bunch of reasons, but people made fun of the real shitty parts. And I'm glad they took that feedback, because the original maps were real bad. And when the game came out, it didn't have points, which is absurd. All sorts of other stuff, you know. Perhaps the setting needs some stuff retconned. Yeah, a little bit of a... I mean, we might be talking about that later. I wonder. I don't care if... I mean, like Age of Sigmar, I don't care if it's retcon. Just improve it. Just make it better. You know? As long as it's cooler. Really excited for more rat news in the future, true. If you took out all the sodium, it would taste like metal? Okay. Friend and I were playing Gitz versus Nurgle the other day, and some guys at the table next to us were talking about how cool it was that the armies felt very visually different compared to 40k, so Saturnine. Yeah, I think the models are just... I don't know what the cause is. Perhaps as an outsider, it kind of seems like 40k, they've just done it a certain way for so long that everybody's gotten attached. But in AOS, it's fairly new. And so people are just like, hey, go ahead, get creative. So there's a bunch of creativity all over the place. They're allowed to do that. Normally, in a vacuum, I'm more of a sci-fi than a fantasy guy. But we don't live in a vacuum, and so here I am in the fantasy game that I think has more diverse, interesting models from a hobbying perspective, like a painting perspective. That being said, I'm a well-known hater, well, not hater, disliker, fun maker of 40k's mech design in general, or just Games Workshop's mech design. I'm kind of snooty about it, in a way. I'm kind of judgmental. I don't like the multiple umbrella-looking ass stuff. Not too big of a fan of the Tau, necessarily, either. And the alien technology and stuff. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't hit me. Give me some Armored Core if you're gonna do robots. Give me some Mech Warrior, maybe, even. Can go a lot of different way with mechs. You find the general AOS lore is cool, but the narrative books are not very good. Dawnbringers is about people passing the idiot ball over and over. I haven't read the book. Should I read the books as a content creator of this game? I just actually like the game. Like, I've read Magic the Gathering's books, and they can't be worse than those. I read one 40k book a million years ago about, I don't know who it was about, Grey Knights or something. I didn't find it very great. And so maybe the whole shindig just isn't really necessarily for me. Book club streams. Yeah, AOS is slowly finding its footing lore-wise, Whiskey Lima. And everything seems to be moving forward, which is kind of nice, you know. A completely stagnant world on the precipice forever might get a bit dull. I like how there's regular, you know, every edition we have a big campaign push that shakes things up, changes the world. This place is different, that thing exploded, there's endless spells now, Nagash is dead, he came back to life. Here's a new army. I don't know, I kind of like that stuff. Ooh, a god woke up. Try to go back and reread the Brothers' War books. They don't really hold up. Realm Gate Wars, Founding the Cities, Malign Portents, Soul Wars, yep, and then Forbidden Power, Broken Realms. Marathi became a god. She wasn't before in one of them. And the, what's his name? Is it Votan from Idnet Deepkin? Assaulted Anvilgard to try to get his magic item back. Stop Marathi from becoming a demigod. She succeeded, and so now she's part of the Pantheon. It's kind of cool that, like, stuff changes like that. I rather appreciate it. The only reason you'd ever want to read a magic book is to get a mana crypt. True. I still have mine all these years later. That thing's pretty nice. 2 mana for 0? Yeah, I'll flip a coin, who cares? Vince doesn't like the lore, probably better to hear the lore from somebody who does, says Entorius Rex. Yeah. Especially like book lore and stuff. I'm probably gonna do a timeline, I think. I just acquired all the books to do the research for it. You know, the timeline of Age of Sigmar from the beginning till now. I could do a lore video about that and probably make it interesting. But if we're gonna bring the books into it, and I don't mean battle tomes, I mean like novels. I don't know if I care that much too. Fuck books. Man, YouTube's... I have to click a lot of messages over here on YouTube. I have to click show on all of them. It captures stuff that I don't think is really a big deal. YouTube has some... I don't know what kind of MILFs are running YouTube, but they're tightening their grip on these chat rooms. CG Busta thanks for the $10. Appreciate it on YouTube. Get a load of this, lorehead. Hey, I'm glad this gives me the opportunity to click like on donations. You gave me $10. I click like. Agree. True. Am I right? I had to click show on that one too, Michael Scarborough. God damn. Jokes illegal on YouTube? Anyway, I take you never like the gods in AOS living in the mortal realms like Nagash, Sigmar, and Marathi. You want the gods to be farther away and more ephemeral, more concept-based. Well, maybe not more like that, but at least unable or unwilling somehow to exert physical control in the realms. Thank you, Seneth. Yeah. But AOS is a little more Greek on that one, I guess. They'll show up and walk around and lead an army and all that kind of stuff. It's just the kind of the scale they're going for. The gods seem awkward with what the hard split that seemed to be happening with the old world. The gods seem awkward. You know, I don't know what's happening in the old world arrested at Waffle House. So I can't really speak to, you know, one thing being different than another. I don't know how the gods are handled in the old world. I'm just not sure about that. feel like they should interact with the mortal realms through their followers or avatars like the Chaos Gods do. It's pretty jarring when a literal god just turns up on the battlefield. Yeah, that's why they call people like Marathi a demigod, and Kragnos. Nagash is probably higher up than that, but he has other reasons why his power level is so low, relatively speaking, that he actually gets a model in play. It's not really him. He's like directly controlling millions of mindless undead all over the realm. He has like a dozen avatars. He's splitting his mind into slivers of a pie graph, controlling all of them at once. That kind of stuff. So, okay, you want some excuse why you can kill a god on the table, and the real Nagash just kind of shrugs. Oh shit, I lost a projection. Yeah, shards of Nagash, basically. Just Gut, thanks for the Prime. Appreciate it for 37 months. Do you send money through Twitch, or is it just subscriptions? It's subscriptions. You can gift subs. There's like a bits thing, but it's kind of stupid. If you scroll down, there's a donate button. If you want to eschew the whole process and just donate straight away. Anyway, thanks for the nice question. I made a button for that. Didn't he also get decked by Techless? Yeah. Yeah. He got cheat-coded by Techless and the plot. He lost to the plot, kind of, on that one. But killing Nagash just kind of puts him in cryo-sleep for a year or two. And comes back pissed off. Yeah, Techless ran mill, true, yeah. Yeah, it's like an Avatar Imperial line, I would say. Showed up with a Game Shark. Gave him that up, down, up, down. He's in cryosleep until the 5th edition. I think he's technically back already. But I don't know what part of him is. He beat Techless to near death. He lost to the damn army showing up. The damn armor showing up. I remember he had I think it was 4 purple suns orbiting each of his wrists, like cosmic jewelry, and he cocked his arms like fucking what's his name from Mission Impossible, and then started beating the nerd right up, and then unfortunately the army showed up and there was some wibbly wobbly special arcane crystal nonsense thing that like trapped him or something. Yeah, -8 to save. Yeah, Superman Geralt Riviera. Yeah, pre-nerf Purple Essence, yeah. If they made a Magic tabletop war game, would you play it? Almost certainly not, no. I really like Magic. I spent the majority of my life playing Magic competitively. Now I'm retired, I just play Commander. But no, I wouldn't play a tabletop war game Magic. They came out with a board game Magic. I think there's a Magic version of Clue or whatever. I'm not like a... I don't know how to put this. I'm not like a fan of Magic. The brand. Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro. It's not like they're going to make something I'm going to buy it. I really like Magic. I think it's the best game maybe ever. And so I'll be playing that one. Let's see. You know what I would do here? I'll meet you in the middle a little bit. I think they released a like Dungeons and Dragons Magic the Gathering campaign setting kind of thing, right? I would pull from that for a D&D game maybe or something like that. I would use that as a source. while I was making up my own. I would do something like that, maybe. Because the general idea of Magic as a setting, saying setting is kind of weird because they go to different planes and those are kind of like settings, but I'm talking about the grand over setting, I guess. Just conceptually, planeswalking itself. I mean, that's kind of neat. But then again, I've been a fan of Planescape for the longest time as well. Yeah, it's a great scenario for RPGs because you can just make up anything. And you can dip in and find the normal cast of characters and have kind of a world built for you to just play in. Yeah, he got sniped by Luminarchs while the Deus Ex Machina Caring Elves showed up. Yeah, just in time to cast them out with it, yeah. Magic's brand identity is so inexplicably poorly capitalized on. Well, yes and no, right? They really haven't done almost any selling out from an IP perspective. I'm talking like, there wasn't like, you know, everybody tries to make a movie. Nobody tried to make a Magic the Gathering movie, you know? A Magic the Gathering HBO miniseries or Netflix thing, or Magic Happy Meals and stuff like that. There's a little bit of there's like a little bit of video game, but just not a lot. Let's mix up the walk, shall we? As soon as I start hearing those trumpets, I know that it has gone on repeat. Let's go down our rain walk, shall we? But then on the other side, like, as it pertains to messing with the actual game itself, they almost can't sell out harder if they tried. They can't water down and erase their brand identity more than if their life depended on it, just about. Right? We got tie-ins from just completely fucking anything. It's disgusting. Right. Walking Dead, Superman, Iron Man, fucking Fallout video game, Burger King food tokens, the New York Jets land. I don't know, it's just, they couldn't sell out harder if they tried. So it's weird which directions they've chose to do that. I'm actually a little sad. I wish they would have sold out in the more traditional way and tried to make a movie that sucked and try to make a series that sucks, you know? Because those wouldn't affect what cards you're playing as much, but, you know, here we are. Sign up for the Rubicon GT in 3 weeks. I messaged the guy in charge of it asking if there was a spot open. Because when I went to the website, it was all closed up. He hasn't responded yet. I might be able to go to it, which is why I messaged him. Before Home Depot, X Walmart, Magic. Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. They started with probably the worst one, and so there's no low to which they cannot sink. I can't wait to tap my JD Power and Associates fortification. Summon 3 Pokemon to the field. Equip them onto Superman and fight Goku. It's grotesque. But game's still good. Who cares? It's fun to complain about, actually. It's a bit like asking if you play an AOS card game. Yeah, I just wouldn't. It feels weird how a lot of nerd IPs feel the need to make a movie or TV show to make it more legitimate, Xeno. I think they're just trying to make some money. There's a little bit of an elephant graveyard about nerd franchises that tried to make a movie and ended up bankrupting themselves or whatever. Maybe it just happened twice and I'm not thinking hard enough, but I remember the Dungeons and Dragons movie and TSR getting bought, and I remember the Squaresoft Final Fantasy movie and then merging with Enix. And never making a good Final Fantasy game again. Fucking got him, I think. Hold on. Is that true? What was the Final Fantasy game that came out? FFX was made after? How much after? Was it in development? I want to know how correct we can be here with the hot take. If it was made like well after, then I have no, I have no recourse. I would have to concede. Same year? Hey, alright. Development was basically done by that point. There it is. Yoshi P making Final Fantasy XIV good. You could maybe count that if you wanted to. But it's the only exception that I can think of. At least for mainline ones. FF12 was pretty good and came out 5 years after. I disagree, but here we got opinions, so. Final Fantasy 14 is gold. Yeah, for an MMO, it was pretty good. It got pretty good, I guess. You feel like the D&D movie is underrated? You're probably talking about the new one, and not the one that I'm talking about. I'm talking about like TSR, Wizards of the Coast era. By all accounts, people have told me that the D&D movie was surprisingly not as bad as they thought it would be. But a lot of that kind of, we have to do a joke every 4 seconds sort of humor that might get tiresome with an older fan. It's for kids anyway, so that's fine. I'm not here to complain about it. I haven't seen it. Fran was the only good part of 12. Pretty close to correct, CGO Busted. It certainly wasn't the gameplay. Jesus Christ. But for an MMO doing some heavy lifting, yeah, but all you have to compare against yourself is your contemporaries, right? And Final Fantasy XIV got good in a time where there just weren't any other good MMOs anymore. So maybe they get bonus points for it, maybe they don't. But it was, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good for the time. You forgot about the old one? Yeah. The less said about that one, the better, I think. Can't wait for the Fortnite Magic crossover. They already did that. Arrested at Waffle House. They already sunk that low. Yeah, they already did the Fortnite Magic set. There's no depth that you could imagine that they couldn't sink to now. Monofish, I think this is the first time chatter. Squeenix lost the magic touch when it comes to making good AAA games after the PS2 era. 16 was like 50% of the way there, in your opinion. Yeah. I wish it was an RPG, is maybe my criticism with it. Did you say they did a New York Jets crossover? No, that was a joke. But, considering Fortnite's real, Marvel will soon be real, The Walking Dead is real, Fallout is real, it's kind of hard to tell when I am inventing something ridiculous as a joke or not. JD Power and Associates was a joke, as was McDonald's for now. I think you could make like a Whopper food token though. Zangief is real. Fucking Fallout is real. Fallout? Post Malone is a commander. The guy from the YouTubes that plays Commander, I think he's a musician or something. Oh, Assassin's Creed is real. I forgot about that. Yo, I was looking through the Magic the Gathering spoilers, Peepo Comfy. I was scrolling through the Assassin's Creed spoilers for Magic cards, and I'm like, please. Please don't have any good cards. I don't want to have to play fucking Assassin's Creed Magic cards. I hated those games. I did not like those games. Please don't have a unique card that's like amazing in here. And to my relief, they didn't. All the cards suck. I was very happy to learn that, but I got lucky. When you said the Dune thing in today's video, you did the DiCaprio point. Yeah. My Arrakis. My Dune. It could be the Mandela effect, but you're fairly sure there's a Magic Netflix show. Oh, really? Red King TV? Let's find out. Magic the Gathering TV series. It's in production, maybe. As of right now, it's in production, maybe. And the last we heard from it was 2020. 2021. Which is now 3 years ago. I don't know what's happening with that thing. It must have been a news snippet that they were working on something about it. Pre-production. Pretty sure Portal movie got confirmed back in 2009, Lamau. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a script option. Maybe somebody got connected to it. Got a report on anything, you know. HeyWoah slips back into a slimy bath, yeah. It's in development hell? Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Switch hat, sure. When you said that, let's see. Somebody has a comment. Why does the art matter? Is it just immersion? Would the Orcish Bowman be any less bleh if it was Dominaria arc? Why does the art matter? Is it just the immersion? No, I don't think it's just the immersion. That's a big part of it, though, yeah. You know, flavor, world building, art, especially the art, is a huge reason why so many people play Magic. Because on average, the art is great. Really good. Especially compared to its contemporaries. Like, you look at Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they look like they were drawn by 15-year-old school children in a notebook with crayons. The art's trash. It's embarrassing. And then you have Magic, and they're like, oh yeah, we hire artists, you know? Yeah, art's really important, I think. And the look and feel of it, and, you know, building up your own IP, your universe, your theme, your style, your identity. I think that matters. Even card borders matter a lot to people. They're like, oh, I don't like that border. That looks... They did a special border with this one. It looks like it's made out of a robot. I don't like that. I like the thing that comes from the game. You know, that kind of stuff really does matter to people, I think. It does to me. Hello, HeyWoah. Have you seen the Fallout show yet? No, I don't watch TV, and I don't really like Fallout. But I hope it's good. I didn't mean to fully shut you down like that. But I hope it's good. You are anti-Fallout, right? I don't like the way you phrased that. I just don't like Fallout. I liked Fallout a lot when the original game came out and I played it because I'm old. But I haven't liked it since Bethesda got a hold of it. And I mostly drifted away and stopped caring. CJ Buster is anti-Fallout, I would say. So in the next unset for Magic, can we get full border lands? Yeah, we have full art lands and we have full text lands, so I guess full border is the next one. I hope they never do an unset again, though. I generally hate those. They're really, really annoying to play. If they were to add AOS, would you want them to do 4 precons like 40k or a whole set like D&D or Lord of the Rings? Would I want them to? I would be perfectly happy with some precons, I guess. The problem with AOS, besides it being 2 orders of magnitude less popular than 40k, is that for 40k, Space Marines are like half of the whole deal, you know? You can say Space Marine and you could be talking about basically half of everything. We have too many factions to really round them up into 4 exact precons. That's kind of a problem with it, I think. Which is why I made a commander for each of them for my custom cards. What about Fallout New Vegas? I played it back in the day. I didn't find it to be that noteworthy, really. And now, 10 years later, everybody's like, it's the best ever. And so, maybe they're relatively speaking the best ever, because, I mean, what is it competing against? Fallout 3? Fallout 76? Nothing of any quality has come out of that series almost ever since Bethesda, so even something okay is maybe relatively looking great. Maybe I was too busy playing other games at the time. Maybe I didn't give it a good chance. I thought it was alright. Yeah, I don't mean to be overly judgmental about it. It was a long time ago I played it a little bit. What's your favorite Magic block? Don't have one. You hate, I hate unsets, as your top recommended video is Spice 8 Racks, the genius of unsets video. I'm afraid, I don't know what, his video essay is going to talk about. But I remember unsets being those things that aren't legal, but that have cool land that you want in them. And if you ever actually play an unset, it's brutally unfun and annoying and wastes so much time. It's like, it's built seemingly on purpose with anti-fun in mind. But that just means I'm not the target audience for it, like Fallout, I guess. And now the brand new unset where half the cards are legal randomly and the other half aren't. And some of them are fucking good. And so you got people dicking around with stickers and shit in tournaments. That sigh is how everyone feels about unsets when they actually have to interact with their mechanics. But love watching your videos, but you haven't actually started an Age of Sigmar army yet. Do you think it's a bad decision to buy the Blades of Khorne Vanguard box before the new book? Yes. Freddie Black. It is always a bad decision to buy something right on the advent horizon of a new edition that's going to change everything. We have no way of knowing. Be a smart shopper. I don't want to tell you to go buy something and then the rules of the whole game change. The rules of your Khorne Battle Tome change. The rules of all the War Scrolls change, because those are changing too. And you bought a game piece that doesn't do what you bought it for anymore. Maybe you're lucky and it's good. Maybe you're unlucky and it's bad. Wait till the rules come out. Wait till the FAQ comes out. And then make your purchases. If you just have nothing to do for the next 3 months in your whole life, and you're like, you know, gosh darn it, I just want to paint something and I don't care if in the future I'm flipping a coin to see whether it's just on my shelf forever or not, then sure, but, you know, do so with the forewarning that it could be the case. Anyway, that's basically the advice I always give people for the most part, especially when you're on the bubble. You're right next to a big change or a new book coming out or a new season or whatever. Did you miss the news? No. Alan K. I talk for like an hour, sometimes even two if the questions are just popping and we're having a nice conversation. You're meant to be painting during this time anyway, before the news. The news isn't crazy this time in any case. You wanted to ask where the hell the person in the video is walking. They look like they're next to the Game of Thrones wall. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I like autumnal scenes. I like rain. Question. We getting a new incarnate, or do you think they're going to decommission them? From a player perspective, I hope that they never do that again. I and basically everybody else hated the fucking thing and resented how it was in almost every army. And it was ugly besides. I hope they never do it again. It probably sold well because its rules were OP. But then again, they keep saying that rules don't drive cost, so maybe this time I'll believe them for copium and hope that it failed so they'll never do it again. I hope. I'm sure they will. Unsets is magic if Games Workshop had created magic? Yeah, probably. Do Chaos Dwarves come out in 4th edition? I certainly hope not. If they must introduce a new army into Age of Sigmar, I would hope that it would be an interesting one, unlike Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves sound like a great idea for the old world. That's where they come from anyway. And that's what the only people interested in them come from anyway as well. I hope they chill on new armies, to be honest. We gotta maintain the armies that you have decided to keep in this game. Replace all the fine cast in the old plastic. If you have to introduce a new army, I should hope that it would be more interesting than Chaos Dwarves. Love the hobby, love the models, but man, AOS just has a more interesting game. Yeah, I mean, it's not illegal to like both. It's not illegal to just paint stuff and not play. Do what makes you happy after work. Work fucking sucks, dude. Sometimes you just want to paint stuff, do something creative with your hands. Maintaining stuff does not sell models, though? I don't know. Talk. I assume that new stuff probably sells better than refreshed old stuff. But to somebody who's new models are new models. I don't know what their data is on that. All I can do is say what I would prefer. Honestly, if we get more AOS armies, you'd hope some get retired or consolidated. That's another reason why I don't want new armies. We have 25 armies. That's a lot of fucking armies. We don't need more. Chill, you know? That's how I feel about it in any case. All you'd want from a new army is something dark elfish that isn't daughters. Would you agree that AOS has a lot of armies already? Yeah. Well, if you're looking for something dark elfish that isn't daughters, maybe when Cities of Sigmar do a refresh on their elven line, like they just did for their human line. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a new army, it's just part of that. We got dwarves to refresh in Cities of Sigmar, we got elves to refresh in Cities of Sigmar, we got ogres to refresh, chilling with a bunch of old fantasy stuff and some Finecast besides. They got a lot of work to do that has nothing to do with new armies yet. At least in my opinion. They got a second wave of Fire Slayers to put out. Maybe KO, maybe IDK. Plenty of second waves to do. Please God, no pirates, says CJ Augusta. A pirate unenjoyer, huh? I actually agree with you. I think pirates are boring as a theme. Not a big fan. I think pirates, just as a concept, are really popular. I don't care much for it. So glad you stopped buying cities before you joined. All you got is the spearhead and the City of Sigmar starting box, says the taco lover. I really like what they did with the humans. Very looking forward to see what they do with dwarves and elves in that army, sculpt-wise. Looking cool. As for the rules, I don't know. Trust in Matt Rose, I guess. New man in charge. Spartasmix. Speaking of Cities of Sigmar, you hope that they can synergize with each other instead of just having humans with human, etc. Yes, I agree. That's a huge sticking point with me. I rather liked the Cities of Sigmar lore that they still have, by the way. The lore didn't change. I was just hoping they would have the rules reflect it for once. But they chickened out. And so in the new index, I'm hoping maybe they do that. I don't know how creative they're going to get with it, but yeah. The whole thing is Cities of Sigmar began as kind of an anti-fantasy thing. You know, in the boilerplate, bog standard, just default, the most boring fantasy you could ever get, just straight carbon copy Tolkien stuff, is like, every nation is simply a race, every race is an army, the elves hate the dwarves and the dwarves hate the elves for some bullshit made up reason a million years ago. I'm falling asleep, right? I'm entering a coma. I've heard this so often. I liked Cities of Sigmar because Archaon conquered the world. And demons and chaos essentially controlled shit for 800 years. And all the, like, goodly races had to team up together and work together or go extinct. And I think that was a cool idea. I wish their rules would reflect it instead of every rule being like target human only, target elf only, or something like that. They do a COS dwarves and elves, you're gonna be so happy. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to them doing that in the future, I hope. Cities will be only human soon. It's the Astra of AOS now. Dark elves and dwarves will just go to Old World. I hope not, Tug Tug. That'd be a shame. They'd be throwing out one of their most interesting lore tidbits in their whole setting by doing so. You haven't looked at Cities art, but do they have elves and dwarves in the art? Yeah. Yeah, in the art it's just everybody. Big mix. You'll find it a lot in Soulbound as well. Should they just create more factions within factions to expand the range? Maybe Doc split in half with other dark elves? I don't know. I don't think so. dispossessed are going to be banished to the Shadow Realm. Those current models, for sure. I'm wondering if they're going to get reimagined and all AOSified like the humans did, or if they'll just flush them and then make Cities of Sigmar boring. I hope not. Shadow Dwarves would be dope. Yeah, true. Mr. Woe, have you played Soulbound? Starting a campaign this week. Not sure what it's going to be like. Yeah, I have. E. Black circle with name E. Yeah, one of my fellow content creators, Mr. Mephisto, was a playtester for Soulbound. And they did like a collaboration with, what is it, Cubicle 7 or something like that. So before it came out, we did a little 10-game campaign or something with, and we did like streams of it with me, Mr. Mephisto, Vince Venturella, Tom Lyons, and Strength Hammer. And we did like 10 episodes of it. It was pretty fun. It's like a number of successes sort of target number game with dice pools and stuff. It was a simple enough system. I rather liked it. They had some cool ideas, particularly having to do with ranges of abilities. I thought was pretty nice. And I mostly like the books for the expanded AOS lore. Just populate the fucking world. Give me something in there, you know? That's half of it that I liked. Would Shadow Dwarves still have the symmetry problem of the Fire Slayers? For sure, no. I don't know if that was a rush job or what, but there hasn't been a lot of that since then. Because they're the best lore in AOS was in those books. Because when you're writing a tabletop RPG, you gotta figure the perspective of somebody on the ground floor in enough detail so that you can have the game work. And that's not the angle you're typically looking when you're talking about broad strokes and world building for an army game. And so you're like forced to come up with the little details that are rather nice. Tie the room together, you know. Be pretty weird of them to have every CS battle tome bring up cog forts as the marvel of dwarven engineering just to can dwarves in COS. Yeah, but keep in mind the lore does whatever it has to make whatever the sculpting team has decided to do okay. You know? There's some guy in a suit, and then after him is a bunch of other guys in suits, and after them are concept artists and modelers and sculptors and artists and stuff. And then after them is lore writers. And they're like, dump a stack of pages on their desk, figure it out. As a callback to the video this morning, I believe the reason Custodes weren't explicitly men and women from the get-go is because the models they had in the pipeline had just happened to be all male. And they're like, no, we're not representing anything that's not a model. And that was like the only reason. And the person who made that decision is now gone, but they were a stickler about it. And so the lore people just do whatever they have to make whatever the model half of the company work. Now you can fill up your lore with, oh, maybe we'll do this in the future, maybe we'll do that in the future, you know. But when it gets down to it, you do whatever you have to make the models that are coming out make any sense. Compare the Phoenicium section in the second book to the third ed one. Oh yeah. Poor Phoenicium. You liked Ironjaws were not too difficult to add to Soulbound parties. I made like an ogre. I made like a custom one. Loosely based on the Kurnoth Hunter's stat line, I think, or something like that. It was a good time. Like all tabletop gaming, whatever your system. If you have a good GM, it's going to be a good time. If you don't, it probably won't. Anyway, I'm going to re-up this Dr. Pepper. And then, shall we talk about some news? I'm not saying there won't be walking in the future. But Vendor Trash Gaming just asked me a GMing question. Damn, I will answer that. Right after this.
Introducing the best news for ice cream lovers since ice cream began. New Simple Pleasures. It's everything you love about ice cream, but no point. New Simple Pleasures is unbelievably rich, incredibly creamy, and absolutely top. Oh yeah. Because New Simple Pleasures is made with all natural pure athlete, yeah. Instead of point. New delicious all natural Simple Pleasures. There's never been an ice cream like it.
There's never been an ice cream like it. Alright, let's go spacewalk. Real quick. I said we would talk about the news. My show. Plans changed. Somebody asked an interesting question. That's all it takes, folks. That's all it takes. It's probably too loud, right? I'm gonna tap it down a little bit. Oh, the memories. Oof. I'm really looking at the galactic map. Do you know if they release stuff after? You think you got one more book, but the game itself is dead, right? Soulbound? I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. Talk. I'm not sure. I know they released like a city/map kind of collection, the main book, and one other book, I think. And I didn't pay attention to it. I have it zipped up in my giant folder of tabletop stuff. So I can't speak to it. I'm not sure. I'm going to use it for reference material and maybe run a game in it in the future. But I'm not sure. Do you GM at all? Yeah. That's like mostly what I've done. I probably GM'd half the time and played half the time, I would say. Kind of a lifelong hobby, you might say. Really enjoy it. My games are always really weird and they really depend on what the players do. I don't have strict structures. I don't work out of pre-made, books or anything. I like thinking on my feet, and I like my players to have a lot of power to change things and just decide to do whatever and just roll with it. That's fun for me. Comparing the chat to others, streaming about this topic is like night and day. HeyWoah crew is much more chill. Lord Vesh. I mean, there were a bunch of really excited people, but unfortunately, when I start a stream, like most streamers, I have an intro, so it gives people time to show up, And by the time the intro was over, they'd type themselves out, and I was ready to have a big conversation about it, but then everyone was just like, I said my piece, and that was it. So, It's difficult to cultivate a community that are reasonable, I guess. I've learned this running a Discord. But what are you gonna do? We don't play that game either. It's an Age of Sigmar community. It's not really a 40k community. I run my Discord. There's not even a 40k channel in the Discord. There's a bunch of other channels. There's a hobby channel. There was a Helldiver channel briefly. There's a magic channel. There's a music one. there's an AOS one, but there isn't even a 40K one. So I would attribute it to that. It's probably just we're selecting for my audience, which tend to be dads who paint age Sigmar models and kind of play, I guess, and they just want to chill. So Soulbound has released a bunch of stuff, says Bishop. Well, I'm going to look into it because I liked what I saw. Yeah, Bear Grill. Actually, good point, Bear Grill. Somebody asked a 40K question about Sisters of Battle in the discussion channel. And nobody answered the question. And everybody just started, the conversation went to posting dinosaur bones that they owned in real life in their house. And they were posting, oh, I got this dinosaur bone from this or that. And it just became a dinosaur bone conversation. I'm like, yeah, all right. It's crazy seeing Adeptus Custodes wholeheartedly embracing the change and seeing a large chunk of the larger 40K fandom scream in impotent incel rage. Yeah, I mean, if only it were that simple. It's just, you know, as far as I know, Custodes are just different. They're not Space Marines, and that makes it okay. Easy. To me, it's pretty cut and dry, but I don't know. I'm an outsider, in a sense. I'm aware of the setting, and I dabble in knowledge about it. College and later on, and just things like that, but I don't play the game. I don't buy 40K models. No one should give a shit what my opinion is based on those two things, right? All I have is if I make sense or not. I'm an outsider. I'm not even a secondary, because I'm not really like orbiting the game. I just play a different game. Trading pictures of like the one new unit everyone paints each year, yeah. This streamer has no discipline. No, I have a great deal of discipline. I just know what matters and what doesn't, I think. Or I'd like to think I do. Everybody likes to think they do, right? Glad AOS isn't afraid of girls. You need your Yndrasta model. I don't think 40K is afraid of girls either. At least for the most part. You always, like, there's always going to be the weirdos, right? And those singular weirdos are going to be signal boosted to the very forefront to think that 10,000 people think this way or whatever. But the fact is, in AOS, it started Stormcast are equal opportunity. You know, save them on the battlefield, fill them up with lightning energy, give them some armor crafted by a dwarven smith god out of the blasted core of a planet. Give them a fucking artifact hammer, and at that point, who gives a shit? They respawn when they die. Day one, equal opportunity. I don't care who you are, can you swing a magic hammer? Call down an Assyrian nuke on your position using you as the coordinates like fucking Hammerhand until you forget your own name. Speaking of retcons, Stormcast, kind of cool now. Who knew? The Sigmar is not for whomst drinks his juice. It matters only that they chug. True. Are you a fan of Macho Man, or is that just a bit? It's a bit. Macho Man Randy Savage did the cream bit, and that was a great fucking meme. But I'm not like a wrestling fan. I don't really care about wrestling. Never have. It's just that some of the funniest memes that rise to the surface of wrestling, so that even a non-fan like me sees them, some of them are pretty good, man. And so I just use those. lest this wears out its welcome, we'll switch to snow. Man, and I was all ready to go in desperation to the news section, but now people are starting up a conversation. That's kind of interesting. You're gonna overdose on Who Caresium? Yeah, kinda. It's like, if they made female space marines, I think it would be humongous. But the Custodes is kinda like, I'm gonna be honest, the average person just shrugs, even me. It's still sort of a big story. It's enough of a story to make a YouTube video about, but it's like, in the grand scheme of things, kind of a shrug, right? You think it's a political move by GW rather than an in-game move? Oh, for sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I want to sell more toys. And that's what you should expect. It's actually weird how often Games Workshop decisions don't line up with making more money. You know? If you think about it, that happens way less than you might expect. Like, if you're a big, Games Workshop billion-dollar company, they only care about the bottom line. The men in suits. You know, capitalism or whatever. And then they're like, Beasts of Chaos? No, we're not selling that in 2 games at the same time. You gotta pick 1 game. Why? If you only cared about money, you'd sell it in both games. Like, what are you doing? That's gotta be net positive at the end of the day, even if you factor in all the internal whatever. Selling BOC in 2 games? It's gotta be net pos. Nope. Specialist Studio wants it. And you can't sell it in 2 games as long as one of those games is Forge World Specialist Studio and one of them is actual Games Workshop, you know. Okay. I thought they only cared about money, but I guess sometimes they just don't. It's almost like a company is really big and has a lot of different sides arguing against each other. Oh, and by the way, somebody mentioned this before. If there's a rule that you can't sell an army in 2 different games, then how come demons in 40k and AOS? And they had the perfect, I didn't think of it, but it's a brilliant answer. Yeah, that's not the rule. The rule isn't you can't sell something for 2 different games, because they clearly do that, and it's not just demons. The thing is between Specialist Game Studio and Games Workshop proper. You can share between 40k and AOS, that's GW. But between Forge World or Specialist Studio and the others, a lot of Horus Heresy stuff getting pushed out, BOC getting pushed out. Oh, maybe it has to do with that. Vince went on a hilarious rant about it, because product management is what he does professionally besides paint as much as he damn well pleases, which happens to be a great deal. I think it was last week's show, maybe 2 weeks ago show, that Vince went on a visibly upset rant about it. It's a good watch if you want to see him essentially shaming like a school teacher bickering children on Warhammer Weekly. But apparently the real reason is just inter-company drama between Specialist Studio and Main Studio. That's kind of childish and is losing the whole company a net amount of money for its silliness. But yeah. Twitch staff in chat. All right, everybody, put your seatbelt on. Pretend like you already had it. Oh, come to a full stop every time you get to a stop sign. Tier 1 sub to Aegis. Hey, thanks for showing up. Can't be here with mods. He's got warrants for his arrest. All right. Hey, all right. Everyone act natural. Chill. I swear, I don't just talk to chat back and forth to Persona music going on walks through forests. I gotta keep up the illusion that I'm a hermit in a wizard tower, never goes outside. Crypt Shadow. So I really don't care, but basically authors were like, can we write in some female custodians, and GW corporals were like, no ladies, because the new models are male only. This was said by a Black Library author. Yeah, that's true, Crypt Shadow. It wasn't, I don't believe it was corpos, it was one particular guy who they implied who it was, but they didn't say, and that person no longer works there. Not like they were fired, I don't think, but that was the reason back then. And that wasn't the greatest reason, and also there's been a little bit of a shift in the philosophy of it. So, you know, that was the reason behind the scenes, supposedly. Yeah, Red Vision, I would expect female custodians to come out pretty soon. Or at least be in the pipeline if they're changing such a thing. Which I welcome. I like Stormcast. Big ladies. Big armor, big weapons. I'm in. Thanks, found you through your AOS videos. Brother-in-law, and you were considering AOS after you became disenchanted with 40k 10th. I have heard that one a lot. Should I be calling you Aegis, like in Persona 3? Or is this Aegis? Anyway, yeah, I've heard a bunch of that. I'm not, like, competing against 40k, exactly. My content isn't really 40k sucks, AOS good, you know, quit one, join the other. I just happen to like mine, that's all. Anyway, please enjoy. Wait a second, you're not a hermit in a wizard tower, never goes outside, you feel deceived. No, that part is true. It happens to be an apartment. It's not exactly a wizard tower, but it's generally rare if I go outside more than once a week. I just don't like to. I'm not like, I don't have agoraphobia or any such. I don't believe it's a mental condition. I just do what I wish to do in my life, and I have structured my life around that. I think people have more control over their own situation than they would like to admit, oftentimes. And freedom isn't free, and I've turned down... Like, I work from home, and I could make more money if I worked for a finishing company. But then I would have to get up at 6 a.m. and drive to work and have a boss. And I ain't trying to do that. And so it's worth it to me to live how I wish to live and be my own boss in various ways, both in contract editing and streaming and stuff. And I'll give up a bigger paycheck for that. It's worth it. Do what you wish to do, if you can. Grass toucher? Heh. Touch grass? Try mowing it, kid. HeyWoah confirmed to be a dwarf. I mean, I'm 5'10", that's... Is that a legal dwarf? Good evening, HeyWoah. Have you had a news section? No, actually, we've just been chilling. People are painting their models in the background, kind of thing. I'll get to it eventually. 5'10" dwarf, 5 foot tall, 5'10" wide, actual cube H body confirmed. 5'10" might as well be 4'10". You realized Primetime wasn't retired? Glow up when? Yeah, I was surprised at the two surprises if they were going to retire anything from Stormcast. I would have thought they would retire Darkoaths. Worst sculpt in the line. How are you going to get mounted dragons and then be like, no wings, short little stubby legs? They look like corgis and their mouths are stupid and their rules are always overpowered, so everybody buys them, but I don't know. That was a weird one to me. And also Primetime. He is a cool concept, a bit too silly. They made him too early. if they made primetime nowadays, man, you know, the sky's the limit. It'd be so cool looking, I think. Short King's big in heart, yeah. Oh, you dropped this king, but you didn't drop it very far, and then hands him the crown, yeah. You want Stormcast to be retconned, to not be an attempt at fantasy Space Marines with a million chambers, and to consequently not have main character syndrome with 1 quintillion releases a year. Wouldn't it be nice to have a release box without them for once? Says Baby Seal loves bagpipes. It's interesting you bring that up, and I read that whole ass 200-word essay, nice blog, because it's pertinent to this whole discussion about squatting model ranges and refreshing them. That's what's happening. Your wish is coming true right now. Let me give you a timeline. This is my favorite tinfoil hat, coming from Tom Lyons a little bit, of the timeline. So companies have pipelines. It takes about 3 years for them to go from idea to model coming out, ish, right? And you're starting things really early. The tinfoil hat is, obviously they tried to copy broad strokes wise from a marketing, from like a product point of view. They tried to make the Space Marine Lightning in a Bottle work again with Stormcast. Clearly. Main character faction, everybody's helmets, so no faces, no skin, big armor plates, easy to just slather paint on, put a wash on it, you're good, right? Backpacks for some reason. And they just blasted out Stormcast really fast, thinking that they would do the same thing that they did with Space Marines. What did they do with Space Marines? Well, you got red ones, you got green ones, you got yellow ones. They each have their own little chambers and chapters and stuff. They eventually split off and became their own armies, and now like a third of the armies in the whole game are Space Marines, just by numbers wise, or maybe a quarter of them. I don't know, I haven't played 40k. And they started to do that with Stormcast. You could see the threads. Just in case that happened, they did a little bit of that. You have the different storm hosts, Hammers of Sigmar, Anvils of the Heldenhammer, the rest of them. But as you can see, with me failing to come up with more than 2 of them off the top of my head, the players didn't really pick up on that. They didn't care. They wanted to paint him as their own guys. Celestial Vindicators, Astral Templars, sure, and all the rest. That was what they were meant to be if the whole Space Marine thing happened, but it didn't. Maybe there was too many armies. There's like, at the time, there was like 30 armies in the game. People personalized their Stormcast. They didn't necessarily adhere to the pre-structured chambers, really. And by the time they realized that, I mean, Space Marines, sell better than basically everything else that Games Workshop does? I bet Space Marines alone outsell most other games that Games Workshop makes, right? Hey, it didn't happen again. Good try. And because it didn't, and they were noticing that it didn't, they shifted again. Because they gave themselves some latitude to be able to shift. And so they're like, we don't care how you paint them, be as creative as you want. We're not going to split the army up into 2 books and then 3 books and 1 book per chamber eventually. Stormcast were selling well, but they weren't selling crazy well. They weren't selling Space Marine well. And so now we get to this point that we're in right now, and it's like, man, we have a whole bunch of Space Marines, we have a whole bunch of Stormcast that all do the same thing. We have like 5 or 6 different battle line that are all the same. We have 30 heroes that do like 4 different jobs total, you know? So many releases. gearing up just in case the Space Marine thing happened. But it didn't. And so like, alright, we're gonna flush half of these down the toilet. Adopt a more reasonable refresh and release schedule. And look, we tried to do Space Marines again, it didn't work out. People still like Stormcast, they just don't crazy like them. So, they're a normal army now. And I consider all of this kind of a good thing. Anyway, that's the tinfoil hat. Space Marines are like 70% of 40k sales. Yeesh. You like Stormcast, you like the idea of them and the execution. I actually do too, Harval. I made a video where I was going to be contrarian. And so I'm like, I'm gonna say that Stormcast are cool, actually. And then I read all the battle tomes and I read all the books and everything. And I'm like, oh wait, that's actually true though. Nice. I kind of agree, yeah, Stormcast are cool. Everybody's opinion about them is stuck in a half-remembered content creator, what they said about them one day after the original first edition launch, and half of that wasn't even true. And then that's just like what people know about Stormcast forever. Now they're actually cool. And now that they're not going to white blood cell, just amoeba take over the entire game and become half of it like Space Marines did in 40k, maybe at long last it won't be uncool to like them. Who knows? We can only hope. Always love the 40k lore, even if you don't like the current rule set. You can still use your models with OPR. You watch a few 4th edition games at launch to see if it's more your speed. Yeah. Everything I've seen so far in 4th edition, rules-wise, thanks to Matt Rose, their new hire, who's been working on 4th Ed behind the scenes for the last 2 years. Everything I've seen rules-wise seems to be a huge improvement. Some of them daring. It's so lame to say that about rules, and I understand that. Daring today, are we? But no, I think getting rid of Bravery and Battle Shock, I didn't think that they would have the guts to do that, but it was the right choice. Very interesting, you know, I don't know, and all the rules stuff I'm pretty excited about, I gotta say. So far it seems really good. You're really looking forward to 4th edition. There's been a lot of people playing AOS at your local game store since they've been announced. Yeah, true. 3rd edition has fallen into a people are waiting on 4th, you know. I'm looking forward for, hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if we talked about it? It's time for some news. Right after a word from my fake sponsor.
With Klondike ice cream bars, you get big servings, big taste, big cream.
Imagine
5 big, moist, delicious ounces of big,
hot
ice cream and a coating made with beautiful
milk,
chocolate, so you can
pour
big cream.
like I've never had it.
Klondike, big bar, big cream.
Cream. All right. Oh, I still have the Norm Macdonald background from OJ dying. Hold on. I can cut that away for now. All right. Apologies. And we're back. I forgot I still had that up. Rest in peace, Norm. Stream ruined. All right. Yeah. Let's read some. Enhance. Let's read some news, shall we? Fulfill your oaths and slaughter the weakling servants of Sigmar with these Darkoath rules. Actually, enhance one final time. Thank you. You get an awful lot of cream sponsorships for somebody who never eats ice cream. Hey, I had ice cream 1.5 weeks ago. It was pretty nice. I liked it. Soft serve. The next time I have it in another 5 or 10 years, I'm going to like it again. Nice blog. All right. Anyway, great story. It's not on the HeyWoah wiki, yeah. With their rippling muscles, luscious locks. In the rage of centuries, spurned by Sigmar, the Darkoath tribes are making their move in Dawnbringer's Book 6, Hounds of Chaos, in a bid to cast out the encroaching Sigmarite settlers. The Darkoath tribes are performing vile rituals and spiking geomantic ley lines across the mortal realms, turning the very lands themselves against the invaders. Oh, word? Corrupting sorcery alone is not enough to turn away these settlers, however, and the Darkoath are prepared to fight for their right to roam these lands. What did you think these big old lats were for? Oh, latissimus dorsi muscles? Oh, very good. Nice vascularity. Friendly handshakes? You son of a bitch. 1.5 weeks ago is very specific. I talked about it on stream, Feisty Crab Man. That's why I had to be specific, because people could check the tapes and know. Just got into the hobby yourself. You think the Space Marines are cool, and GW ensnared you. You feel you fell into the wrong side of the hobby. I don't think so. I'm not competing with 40k on my channel. I just like Age of Sigmar, that's all. Yeah, I just like AOS. This isn't 40k bad, AOS good. Do what you want after a hard day's work, you know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for the comment and the new chatter thing. Also, yeah, as Alfred TG points out, if you like Space Marines, boy, you can't choose a better game than 40k. They're here for you. Darkoath rules, supposedly. Glances nervously at the centerpiece tier list video. Hey, it's not that I never mention it, but I don't think I have more than 3 or 4 videos about it. Ahem. Yeah, Frank on the Rocks this is right. We're going to talk about rules here. I haven't looked at them because I'm trying to react to Andy over here. But I find it difficult to become excited about these rules, knowing that they will probably change when indexes come out in exactly 2 months. That being said, ahem. The men and women of the Darkoath take vows they make to their patrons very seriously, because they know that their gods do not watch idly, and will reward them for fulfilling oaths. Each Darkoath unit, apart from the gruesome Wilder Fiend, has an oath on its war scroll. Complete the terms of this dark contract, and the unit will receive a boon for the rest of the game. The Oath of the Marauder requires a unit of Darkoath Marauders to make a successful charge roll of 7-up. Hyphen. And in turn it grants their weapons -1 rend for the rest of the battle. Okay. Now, if they're chaff, that kind of doesn't matter, and you kind of don't want to charge them, but I wonder what they'll do. Depends on the rest of their stats. I'm not poo-pooing this. If you make an unmodified charge roll 7-up for this unit, and this unit makes a charge move with that charge roll, fulfills its oath. Once the unit fulfills its oath until the rest of the battle, rend. -1 instead of dash. Okay. So it's a characteristic defining, not necessarily a modifier. Got it. From no rend to practically no rend. Awesome. It's fine. Everything will be different. Couldn't we take this as the type of rule that they will maybe have in the future? Still, who knows? It's a fine... I think it's a fine type of rule. Like, oh, these guys want to do this when you do this for the rest of the battle. There you go. It's kind of easy to keep track of as well, which is nice. If the Darkoath Chieftain on Warsteed is the first into the fray in your combat phase, he will improve the wound rolls while mortal Darkoath units within 12 of him until the end of the battle, allowing for some muscular synergy. They really like the bodybuilding stuff. They're leading into the Arnold of barbarian chaos tribal guys. With the war leader. Dude, this horse, by the way, this shit goes hard. That's a sick fucking my horse mask. I said this about the first time we saw this guy come out. Bro, your horse is cooler than you. Which is also kind of a problem, maybe, if you consider that a problem, with a lot of the mounted heroes in the game. But, hey, alright. That looks sick. Anyway. Zijubusto thinks it's 20 bit pp. Chieftain on War Sneed. Oh, formerly Chucks. I see. I click like. Thanks for the $20. That's a $20 joke. Good work. Anyway, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. This unit was the first friendly unit picked to fight. In your combat phase after it is fought, it fulfills its oath. And one of wound rolls for attacks with melee weapons friendly within 12. Okay. Melee weapons. Nice. This man is here to scream. These bargains with the ruinous powers cut both ways, and those chieftains and elders who fail to fulfill their sworn pledges are twisted into wilder fiends. Maybe wilder fiends. Not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. Hulking abominations just beyond the light of the Darkoath camps, demanding a steady stream of sacrifices. In battle, wilder fiends feed on flesh. Oh, a flesh eater, huh? A flesh feeder. Getting 1 sacrifice point for each model, 2 for each Darkoath that dies within 12. Oh, a little flesh eater Corkerule, I guess, right? They can then use these to trigger a series of powerful abilities, hurling warping balefire at an enemy, conjuring a befuddling mind shroud that prevents enemy units from issuing or receiving commands, and more. Okay. Brandon Mate, thanks for the tier 1, appreciate it. Landed on Papa. A bunch of Pabus. Thanks a lot. Feed on flesh. Each time model slain within 12 of any friendly units with this ability, pick one of those units to receive 1 sacrifice point. But it is each time. Okay. If the slain model is Darkoath, it receives 2. Each friendly unit with this ability can have a max of 6. Beginning of your hero phase, if this unit has 1 or more, you can say that it will bestow a dark blessing. If you do so, pick one of the following effects, and roll a number of dice equal to the number of sacrifice points that this unit has, then reset the sacrifice points to 0. So this has the old Corn Blood Tithe rule, where if you spend any, there's no rollover minutes. They get flushed. End of your hero phase, if it has 1 or more. If you do pick 1. Okay, so you can save them, but then they're flushed. Mind Shroud. For each 4 up, pick 1 enemy unit within 12 until end of the turn. That unit cannot issue or receive. So that's on your turn, yeah. Auto Roar. Well, not auto, I guess. You're rolling 4 up for each of the dice that you're spending. But another chance at Roar, super good, even if it's only for your turn. Essentially, it turns like this +1 rend into +2 rend, kinda, because they were going to all-out defense it. Nice. Warping Balefire. For each 3 up, pick 1 enemy unit within 18. Nice range. You can pick the same unit multiple times. Good to hear. That unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Models slain by this effect do not generate sacrifice points. No infinite money glitch, huh? Okay. Mind Shroud working for redeploys, kind of whatever. Working on Unleash Hell, potentially huge. Working on all-out defense, potentially huge. Yeah, lasting for a bunch of phases is a good thing over here. roar 2 or 3 things, or do maybe 3 or 4 mortals. One feels correct. Yeah, probably always. Being within 12, not great for Unleash. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Works in your hero phase, remember. Have to already kind of be in a good position. And your chump Darkoath horse guy might turn into one as soon as he explodes in combat. Hey, you'll get some sacrifice points out of the deal, right? No tribe can ever truly be free of the wilder fiends who act as their guardians and persecutors. Even if they are slain by an enemy, every time a Darkoath hero dies, there's a chance that the Ruinous powers will take note of the failed oath and dish out a transformative punishment. The rules for the Darkoath will be available in several places for the next 2 months. The Darkoath Army Box, which is available for pre-order this weekend. Battletome Supplement Darkoath. The rules are also printed inside the upcoming final book of the Dawnbringers series. Hoons of Chaos, alongside rules for Brandit's Oathbound in the tribes. Okay, cool. Snowy Peaks of Renown. Okay. Without being too terrifically judgmental, I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. If I'm interested in Slaves to Darkness, I'm interested in Chaos Warriors, Chaos Knights, fucking Chosen. Huge, badass dudes in black armor with runes carved all over it. Fluffy collar, red cape billowing in the wind, flanged mace the size of a fucking person, casually held over my shoulders. Not Conan the Barbarian chaff guys. Like, I'm just not. Like this guy, yeah, give me a Chosen. Hey, you're gonna be great chaff, probably. And I'm sure somebody's really into that. You think they both appeal to you, weirdly? Kinda cool. Good. I'm not the target audience, right? Because I'm a Beast Claw player, so there is that. I think there is, at least conceptually, the crossover of Fridge Frazetta enjoyers and Conan the Barbarian. Like, that makes sense in my head, so I understand them doing it. I don't know that I need, like, an entire sub-army about it or anything, but, you know, whatever. Whatever. Ashkus thinks the follow. Appreciate it. Maybe steal the horse? Dude, the horse is actually kind of nice. Horse looking good. Probably release a unit that turns into BOC after their oaths are fulfilled. Can't wait for the monster to be freed from the Darkoath box, otherwise you're with you, yeah. Horse is tired carrying around the fat guy. Dude, the horse is staring ahead with murderous intent. I don't know if it's tiredness. You love the skull for the chieftain. I'm digging mostly the horse, but I like a lot of it. Hey, Barracuda, thanks for the tier 1 gifted to the community. I appreciate it. Take off the man and put another horse riding that horse. Now you're thinking with portals. Yeah, he's a small ogre, is what he is, this guy. Gut plate and everything. It's cultural appropriation or whatever. Next. The Ruination Chamber opens. The Reclusians. Excuse me? Hold on. Excuse me-ens? The Reclusians. That's me. A recluse? That doesn't go outside-ians? That's me. Are the most battle-hardened Stormcast Eternals yet, and, you know, they always have been for the last 10,000 years. With the peal of 1,000 bells and a rent in the earth, the vermin doom has begun. Blight City has manifested in physical reality and crashed into the mortal realms, puncturing up from its foetid sub-realm. Untold numbers of Skaven are teeming out of these warpstone-tainted rifts. Rifts. Hunched clan rats backed by nameless horrors and ramshackle weapons developed by Skaven engineers. These twisted beachheads appearing in the realms are deadly to even the freshly reforged Stormcast Eternals liberators, and the scale of this disaster is so broad that Sigmar has been forced to unseal the Ruination Chamber of the Stormcast Eternals. The first warriors to emerge from its threshold are the Baroque Reclusians. New hero for a new edition. Am I watching this on YouTube? Very short video. Hey, alright. No more than a handful of reforgings away from losing themselves completely, the Reclusians had been sequestered in quiet contemplation. But the need is too great, the hour too dire for these stalwarts to remain at peace. They are unflinching in battle, striding into the most inhospitable battlefields, their lightning-scourged souls shrugging off the corrupting influence of chaos. Yo, this guy's kind of nice, though. This is sick. Nice shield. Axe gaming. I appreciate the axe. Oh, hold on. Hey, do you see these? What would you call these things? These, pages. These parchments. Scrolls. I think 40k has a name for them, and it's purity seals. But I don't know that we have a name for them in AOS. Do you note how they no longer have huge stamps of goofy moon runes all over it? It looks like it's flat to me, so that you can write your own stuff on it, which I appreciate. I never liked the gibberish text that had really thick, because you could only do that. I'm glad we moved away from it. Anyway, a smart sword, a short blade, nice cape game. Yeah, a little bit of Gelt looking, I noticed. A little Gelt looking. He's got a little wiggly octopus face over here. And then the moon. Styling of the twin-tailed comet up here. Kind of liking the greaves and stuff. Plate over chain. Man, this is kind of a great looking Stormcast. How nice. I'm used to mostly being whatever about Stormcast. This is a 5 out of 7 work. This reminds me a little bit of that early Stormcast artwork that was more gothic, more dark. It featured flagellants and stuff being thrown in front of them. And I believe it was a Cities of Sigmar artwork, maybe. And I would often say, damn, I wish they went that direction with the Stormcast instead of the super gold. And this is looking kind of nice. A Reclusiarch, yeah. Nice axe, too. After countless reforgings over centuries of service to the God King, the gift of immortality became a curse, and these Stormcast's humanity has slowly eroded away. They may have forgotten their old friends and blood relations, their place of origin, or even their own battle-scarred histories. Some may have strange supernatural phenomena manifesting around them, speak with voices of thunder, or have lost their ability to dream of a better life. The Reclusians fight on nevertheless. They've honed their skills over numerous lifetimes, armed with the mighty rune blade weapons and clad in the finest Thunderstrike armor, adorned with relics and parchments listing their numerous heroic deeds, in case they forget. Blanche had cool concept art for Stormcast, and this guy looks like it. Yeah, actually, true. That guy had a halberd, if I recall correctly, or maybe a lucerne hammer. But yeah, I know the picture, and I agree, and I like it. Memento cast. Don't trust Sigmar's lies on the back of a Polaroid. Yeah. Also, not just being straight gold on everything plus blue. Welcome. A welcome change. Much better paint scheme here. Oh, shit. Dude, it's boy. It's the dude from that art. Oh, no. I'm gonna have to... Hold on. Entire stream screeches to a halt. I'm gonna try to find that picture. If I can't do it, I can't do it. I'm checking the tapes.
We take a look at the tail of the tape.
Some of them may be involved with exotic stuff, like dark matter.
An ABC News Brief brought to you by Michelob Light Beer. Now from Washington, Sander Van Oker.
Alright, I swear. I can do it. I can do it. Nope, that's not it. Please. Ah. Oh, did you DM me? Is it the one that I'm thinking of? Oh, yeah, no, I know that one. I'm talking about the concept art. 1,000 pardons. Hey, you know what? Please enjoy Age of Sigmar themed song. I'm gonna find this. This is real important, alright? Okay. Desktop mode. Got it. Apologies for the wait. I hope you enjoyed the Ogre Mod Tribe's music. Ahem. This is the concept art I was thinking of, and Frank instantly, and somebody else in chat mentioned. This is the one that Frank sent. And he did have a halberd. Ish. I don't know what this thing is for. If this is a hammer, that would kind of make sense. But anyway, yeah. Little Blanche, right? This is sick. It's, this is looking a lot more like this than the first wave of Stormcast. Okay, it doesn't look just like the Blanche, right? This is the second one here. This one is my man working on a Lucerne hammer. Lucerne hammer enjoyers? Any polearm enjoyers in the chat? Anyway, this is another one. Look at that face, is actually kind of cool. Rather like it. And Mirrodin hammer. Let's go. Yeah. Also, with this guy here, the thing I was thinking of that actually took me a while to find was this, which is an early art for Age of Sigmar that I thought was really quite cool, and I wish they had gone with, but it has a relictor up here. You have these flagellants or something, I would say, from COS in there, and it reminded me of this particular picture. I don't know who drew this. Is this Igor Sid? Doesn't have a signature. It looks like if it was Igor Sid, it's a rough one, you know, not fully rendered, but it reminds me of it anyway. I don't know the artist, but anyway, good work. What's this? Oh yeah, the next news. And so that kind of reminded me of this, just the theme of it, the feeling of it, right? True. Give me some grim. You know, it's the age of hope and everything, but grim me up, right? Sweet. I'm in. Nice pose, double axes. Looks like a Boyd on the knee pad. The silly knee pad, but just a little bit of almost armor stuff going on. It's weird that there's a chain, but then a plate, and then a huge bird. Anyway, it looks cool. It's the Age of Hope asterisk. Yeah. The emergency stab and knife, just in case. Yeah. This guy's cool. Is this what our servo skulls will be? The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god. It even has a knee pad mark. Oh, sick. Dude, let's go. This is great. I'm in. Can I, let's get a pop, yeah.
Pop? Yeah.
Yeah. This one's so good. I wonder what these are making. Is this a little bit of a horned animal? Am I reading too much into this on each side? Like a profile of a Triceratops or something? Just the faintest hint of it. Something like that. Anyway. Give me some dudes in robes with bracers holding flaming stuff any day of the week. Came to AOS in 2018 for a change of pace from Space Marines. You went Stormcast, go figure. Hey, they're different enough. Yeah, the COD knife. First time chatter, Tuskor. Hey, well, I brought one of your big hats, but the hat wasn't big enough for your fat ogre head. Do you plan on getting bigger bigs for the biggest boys? It didn't fit on Tuskor. Please return it and get your money back or something like that. It's supposed to be a one size fits all, and the storefront that I use only has that one size. Fellow big head enjoyers, I got it on the last two for myself, so I understand your pain. Apologies, humongous man who likes my stuff. This guy's band maxing. I apologize for that. And sorry to hear it. There you go. You could have just been lying to me, in which case, eat shit. But here's a sub. Apologies that my hat didn't work out for you. Globe head haven't. We don't need to make fun of the poor man. Anyway, thanks for trying to buy my shit. This guy works out at the library. Yeah. Anyway, this shit is so sick. Let's go. And then the center one. Yeah, okay. Cool. Dude, they didn't tell me they were going to make Stormcast this cool. Hey, alright. When the Reclusians take up arms, they are accompanied by mortal priests called Memorians. Okay, dude. Meme historians? A Memorian. They are accompanied by mortal priests called Moderators. Often direct descendants of the Stormcast Eternals themselves. Oh, let's go. That's actually kind of cool. They are an anchoring presence for the Reclusians. Oh, because they're fucking wild. Their brain is filled with electricity and lightning. Thunderous, bass boosted noise coming in from all over. They're hearing the call of heaven. Ensuring that the precious humanity that grounds them does not slip away in battle. This is cool. Look at that. Any lore building in the chat? Let's fucking go. This is sick. Remembrians, yeah. Mentats, in other words. Memorians. That's some nice ass lore. Finally. Time for the big question. Are these heroes or a unit? Well, judging by the stature, they are an absolute unit. Let's pick up context clues. Dude, I think it's a unit. I think it's a Grand Slammer. This is like the Chaos Chosen of Stormcast kind of. I think it's a unit. It's like Paladins or maybe Terminators or something. You know, like they're the fucking yoke. The yoke squad. There's probably going to be a hero, perhaps one that looks kind of like this, of the Reclusians, but I think this is potentially a squad. Wide gamers. Did the video say hero? Wow. Is this the Superman music? Martha. A new hero for a new edition. Okay, so this guy is a hero. We know that. But then they talk about Reclusians, and they show this other guy who has a different helmet. Same helmet, different helmet. I don't know. It looks like more than an alternative pose. A different foot is forward, right? Right foot forward, left foot forward. Could be loadouts. You think someone maybe screwed up the title? I just don't know. Don't Annihilators already exist? Quite. Yes, they do. I guess Annihilators are more like the Terminators of Stormcast. You don't think hero means keyword hero? You think it just means good guy here? I mean, maybe, yeah, it's a YouTube title. Could be a unit champion with the special head flame thing. Also, male Stormcast, female Stormcast. I appreciate that in armor they would look pretty similar anyway, to be perfectly honest. In launch video, it's a group of 3. Okay. Well, plenty more from the Mortal Realms to share with you on Warhammer Community before coming weeks, alongside plenty more Skaven horrors, alright? Riplord Castellant, he died to let these guys slay, yeah. Dude, this is sick. Really cool lore. Love the little tidbits. More world building is great. They have their own special dudes. Anchoring presence. Reclusian's a win for units not ending in ors. Yeah, true. Stormcast naming conventions are still whack, but at least this one doesn't end in ORS. Yeah, maybe these are what paladins are, Lane Clark. Paladins are just like the complete upgrade, simply elite version of Stormcast guys. Isn't it always something Tor? It's often something like Tor. Liberator, Vindictor, Vindicator, Annihilator, Judicator, I don't know that I could name all of them. There's so many. So glad to finally be seeing more of the consequences of reforging on the table. Yeah, I was waiting for that too, Pestering Pickle. It's nice to see. Yeah, Vigilors. I guess that one doesn't have Tor. Remember the 90s they slapped? Hey, I just made a video about that. Go watch it. It's called The Year is 1993. For anyone who hasn't seen it, please enjoy. It's an important video. Prosecutor, Retributor, Vigilor. That is, there's Defenders and Vanquishers. Okay. Vanguard Raptor. The very last reveal will be new Lord Skrulk. Yeah, perhaps. Damn, it was only those two. No real rules business to talk about for 4th edition, unfortunately. However, good shit. Damn, that's sick. Dude, I like Stormcast now. What the fuck? Actually kind of worth it. Cool. They were going to show off magic this week, right? That's what they said, Mr. Birdie. For the Friday show, I can't wait to talk about magic. And I don't mean Magic the Gathering for once, right? Now, speaking of news... this is important because I just made a video about Adepticon. My last video before today's was about Adepticon and how much fun I had and how great it was. Don't worry. They're not like canning it or anything. Do you know what they look like? You finally realized that they look like they would slot into the Diablo's universe. Yeah. Actually kind of true. Which I love the aesthetic of the Diablo universe. In fact, I used some Diablo 4 concept art by my favorite concept artist, Igor Sid, in the Age of Sigmar video. Because there wasn't any concept art or even any good art of BOC at all, so I had to steal it from Diablo 4. Beastmen, Goatmen. Ahem. Anyway, Igor Sid, by the way, concept artist for Diablo 4, and has done work with Games Workshop. A lot of 40k and a lot of Age of Sigmar. I like his work. Anyhow. Adepticon 2025 dates and new venue announcement. With the record-breaking success of Adepticon 2024, now in the rearview mirror. Like a charging Tyrannosaurus. What? Okay. We've been able to focus on finalizing the plans for Adepticon 25. We have appreciated everyone's patience while we've navigated the myriad of challenges that come with making major changes. It will come as little surprise to anyone that attended the convention this year to hear that Adepticon is growing. In fact, the convention grew nearly 20% between 23 and 24. Jesus. We hosted an estimated 8,000 attendees. This is amazing growth, and we could not be prouder. But that type of growth creates challenges, and the unavoidable fact is that our current venue is no longer a sustainable option for the size of the convention. If anyone has ever tried to get a hotel for Adepticon, you know the pain. With that foremost in mind, and with the sincere gratitude to our current venue and hotel partners, we have decided to relocate Adepticon to the Cream City, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home of the hack frauds themselves, Red Letter Media, Wisconsin Independent Film Festival, all sorts of other stuff. 2025, damn, even closer to me. Centrally located in the historic downtown district of Milwaukee, the newly renovated and expanded convention center is over 1 million square feet, and this first year we'll be using 3 times our current space, including both venues. Also, former home of Gen Con back in the day, before it moved to Indianapolis when it got too big for Milwaukee. After it moved from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, hence Gen Con, when it got too big for that. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, I clapped when Rich Evans said, oh my god, I clapped. But to be clear, square footage alone wasn't the only consideration for choosing the Baird Center. Formerly, I think the Bradley Center. I can't remember what it was called. The state-of-the-art amenities, spacious layouts follow in the Adepticon tradition of feeling right for our event. The Baird Center is a location that we can call home for this foreseeable future. Additionally, the hotel and parking options are plentiful. Yeah, true. This is a big one. Getting a hotel for Adepticon, you had approximately maybe 10 minutes or something to get a hotel that was part of the venue. That shit sucked. And this one, there's tons of hotels that are essentially right across the street. Additionally, the hotel and parking options are plentiful, and the area boasts dozens of first-class restaurants. In short, there will be far more event and exhibitor space, combined with more choices for dining and accommodations. In the end, the choice to move 60 minutes north was a simple one, and we could not be more optimistic about the opportunities the new venue affords attendees, event organizers, and exhibitors. Ahem. Adepticon 25 will run from March 26 to March 30. As soon as we have a list of important dates and additional information, we'll post it. As you can imagine, the logistics involved in relocating the convention will be a challenge, and while we are doing everything possible to mitigate any potential issues, things will invariably happen, and the Harkonnens will almost certainly set traps for us. My Milwaukee. My spice. So we appreciate your patience and understanding and pledge to do our best to keep you as up to date as possible. This isn't the first time Adepticon has had to move. True. And we definitely aren't the only con that's had to relocate to accommodate growth. Just ask some of the old timers about game conventions in Milwaukee. Oh shit, calling me old, huh? Because I, at the onset, talked about Gen Con. Well, first of all, fuck you. Also, you're right. We were also cognizant that bigger is not automatically better. Wrong. But okay. We believe that Baird Center is bold. 2025 will ring in a new era for Adepticon. We will build new partnerships while fostering existing relationships, and we believe Adepticon will be better than ever. So stay tuned for important dates and hotel information, and we'll see you in Milwaukee in 25. A person needs new experiences. It jars something deep inside, allowing them to grow. Without change, something sleeps inside us. Seldom awakens. The sleeper must awaken. Duke Leto Atreides 1. Also, apparently Stinkfist, circa 2003, EverQuest, The Sleeper? Never mind. So, the only part about this that I'm saddened by is no more Chicago Annex ramen, which is some of the best ramen I've ever had worldwide. Very, very sad. However, parking was untenably bad. Finding a hotel was so bad. Yeah, they do need to expand, and Milwaukee will be great for that. Plenty of great places. Yeah, how'd that turn out for Leto? I mean, it depends on how far forward you want to go. Personally, not great. Spiky Ketchup Guru, 25 tier 1 gift subs. Dude, huge. What is the purpose of this? The grippers. 25 divided by 5, that's 5 grips on Twitch. Hey, everybody's going to be hearing WoW with the Oilcast gift journal in the upper left for a long time, but you paid for it. You will hear it. That's really, it's really generous of you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, WoW's incoming. Chill. GD Panda, thanks for the Prime for 38 months. Speaking of. We struggled to find an empty table Thursday night just to play Magic. Yeah, true. It is more space, more room for Commander, EDH play-in, and all the rest. This is a good thing. I am pleased. Also, it's closer to my house. Got him. Closer to the Wizard Tower. It was already embarrassingly close, though. Is that the amazing Captain Plibbit Wiggoleys in chat? Jesus. How'd a nitwit like you get so tasteful? Anyway, Spicy Ketchup Guru, somebody who I don't know if they've ever spoken in chat. Thanks for the 25 gift sub. That's a lot of money. TY. First time gifting things on Twitch. You did not realize it would trigger the WoW each time. No, it's fine. It's fine. I think it's kind of funny if you don't live in the moment. Either way, appreciate my content. Thanks for liking my stuff. I appreciate it. That's the sound of money. Wow. Wow. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. HeyWoah, do you think the squatting of the two AOS armies might have been a long-term plan with Krillboys and Darkoath occupying their space in the AOS verse? Not at all, no. The Bone Splitters they clearly kind of gave up on Bone Splitters for a while. Every edition, they only just lost stuff. They just weren't supported, straight up. They did everything they could besides telling you that they weren't supporting them. Every book, every edition, every rules change. The Bone Splitters were just an army that gave up on it. It's a shitty thing to do to your players. But very early on, and maybe even in the midterms, they weren't selling well, and at some point you have to make a business decision. Am I going to spend money to try to see if this sells well, or am I going to cut my losses? And they decided to cut their losses. All right. The Beast of Chaos thing was inter-studio drama. I don't think they knew that far back with Cruel Boys and Darkoath in the pipeline, because TOW was hardly in the pipeline at that point. And the old world is the reason why Beasts of Chaos are leaving AOS. So you just got done getting BOC to 2K. Good thing the old world is around. Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why. If there was no old world, they'd stay in AOS. But the specialist studio and the main studio had a fight. Mommy and Daddy were fighting, and hey, you know what? Mommy gets to keep the kids. So it's kind of a silly rule, and I'm not a businessman, but I think you might as well sell one army in 2 games and just make yourself some more money, but they don't want that. So anyway, I'm glad you're not too broken up about it, Tuskar. It's kind of a shitty thing they've done to AOS BOC players. No meme. But if you're interested in the old world, good, I guess. That's like the best outcome, I suppose. Ahem. You're not sure about that? If they're willing to cut a bunch of Stormcast models, you could see them cutting BC. Well, Stormcast was different. They're not... I don't think they're going to be making those Stormcast models. With BOC, they're still producing them. It's just for a different game. They're not saving themselves any production or overhead or anything, right, with BOC. They're just selling it in a different place, essentially. But... in another 10 years, when they kill Old World again, they can come back to AOS. I hope not. I hope both games are just good and people like them, for the most part. You really don't get it? Cross compatibility seems like a big marketing plus. It is. It's also, I don't know. Vince knows more about business than I do, and he talked about it from a product. What does he do? Product management, I think, is his title, for some massive worldwide company. And he essentially said it was a really stupid idea, and the political drama of the company ended up hurting the whole thing. And I tend to just default to whatever he says if it's talking about business. I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts over here. I'm not exactly a business major. There's a reason I'm streaming. You've been playing AOS since 2018 and have never played a Beast player? I've played a bunch, but that's just going to be anecdotal, right? The orcs going to Old World was whatever. You got like 4 models. BOC really fucking sucks though, yeah. Are Bone Splitters going to the Old World? I think that's actually up in the air. I'm not sure. They didn't say that, I don't think. Who knows? Your little AOS community has 2 hardcore Beasts players. Beautiful armies, very sad for them. Yeah, same. It's just a shitty thing to do. I mean, it's a shitty thing to do for Bone Splitters players as well. Never forget that, right? There's just less of them, that's all. I thought BOC had really cool, interesting rules, too. The most recent book, they gave it, you know, the whole ass of effort, it seemed. They had some really cool-ass rules, I thought. And they almost tricked us, making endless spells which don't exist in TOW, and terrain feature which doesn't exist in TOW. Those seem like they were targeted for AOS, which leads me to believe that the plan was to keep them, and then suddenly the Old World thing happened and changed plans. Anyway, that's the tinfoil hat as I see it. Yeah, the Chad Herdstone. And doing stuff when they were deployed off the table. I thought that kind of stuff was kind of cool. I couldn't beat it to save my life. BOC had like 9 games out of 10 win rate against me. They had my number. But I thought their rules were cool anyway. Even though I couldn't win. Unless they screwed up and rolled bad. And I got lucky. All 3. But again, remember that it's a warning, right? They're letting you play with it for a year, and TOs will probably let you play with it maybe even until the end of the edition. Probably, you know? There's a lot more warning than you used to get in the old days about what would be supported and what wouldn't, I suppose. The Legends armies in TOW seemed like a late change too. Yeah. And also there was that entire like production diary. Look at all this snow-themed Russian guys we're gonna have as an army. What is that thing called? I don't know fantasy, so I don't, but... And then later on they're like, we have no plans for this army whatsoever. I'm like, okay. Kislev, yeah. A lot of the old world stuff seems to be, at least as an outsider, real like seat of the pants. We're not quite sure what we're doing. Hook a hard left, hook a hard right after that, kind of serpentine their way through things. Give us that army, that one's Legends. I don't know. There must be a lot of changes of plans over the years when we've been hearing about it, leading up to it. Yeah, Kislev Ice Guard, Bear Riders, and some Queen. I think maybe it being in the pipeline for 8+ years is perhaps one of the... I wonder if there is such a thing as production hell. Valrak recently mentioned Overwatch team, old world team, I guess, is doing Chinese Warhammer people early stage of development. Okay. The dropping of pushing Cathay and Kislev as the main factions, and suddenly pivoting to Bretonnian Tomb Kings was super weird as well. You assume the Big C hurt momentum. I mean, yeah, COVID fucked everything up, for sure. It's fitting the Beastmen are known as the true children of chaos and are also the children of the GW divorce. Good meme. Good meme. Was that because you were playing Beastclaw? You've never had issues with BOC, but you're running Gutbusters? Yeah, probably. As Beastclaw Raiders, you can't really run any chaff. It doesn't work. You're an army that... You're a non-Alpha Strike army that essentially can't run any chaff, for the most part. Like true chaff. And so you lose to Alpha Strike. And BOC is an excellent Alpha Strike army, for the most part. It's rock, paper, scissors. I take my loss, for the most part. Just lined up poorly. TW got announced to be in early development in late 2019. You think COVID probably derailed it significantly and then caused them to change the scope? Almost certainly, yeah. Certain world events may have influenced Kislev being missing in action. Are we still talking COVID? You don't need the dance around. I'm not censoring the stream. You can say the word. The success of Total War is probably the biggest factor to Old World's existence. The biggest factor? I don't know, but I bet a really big one, Paz D5. I don't think they expected the Total War to introduce so many people to the world of fantasy as it did. I think that was a surprise to them. Reading between the lines, someone with decision-making power got cold feet about Overworld in the middle of development and decided to avoid doing anything that requires a full army of kits, so cut it. Then it went gangbusters and they don't know how to deal with it. Russian-Ukraine con... Oh, because Kislev are like Russian people-ish? And then Russia invaded Ukraine. I mean, no, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. So you don't make your fantasy plastic toy men loosely, vaguely based in that area of the world, kinda? I don't know. Nah. Much more likely in the pipeline, they weren't about to create a brand new entire army scale. And so they're like, oh, we'll use most of this and most of this and most of that, and we'll lean in more on the Total War game. is less risky to lean in on nostalgia armies and stuff. And do like a second wave of a unpopular at the time but got popular after it died, and you wonder if it's a meme or not, something like Tomb Kings or Chaos Dwarves or something like that. I don't think they're thinking about sensitivity for Russian stuff. Cathay was still on the cards in 2022 for Old World, so they made this choice in the last 20 months or so. Great mix of certain Slavic visuals, Ukraine, Russian, Poland, yeah. I'm not sure I buy that. That sounds like some customer walking backwards from his sure-footed position that Games Woke Hammer is real instead of a joke, you know? And then like, oh, this would be culturally insensitive because of that, and so that's why I bet it's not. I don't know about that. That one seems weird. I bet it was much more business related than that. He said it, Chorfs confirmed. Anyway, this is a good thing for Adepticon. Back to the reining us into the topic at hand. I'm excited about this. Hopefully hotels won't be nearly as bad, parking won't be nearly as bad, a bunch of extra space to play Commander. All around good work. Damn. I'll probably never go to that restaurant again in my whole life. Last time was the last one. It's sad. That shit was so good. People that think I'm just some fat guy who's sad that he won't eat some food, alright? It was big dinner. It was a gathering with Discord people, the people who showed up, and we had super long conversations about stuff. The food was really good, sure, but like, that was the experience, you know? There'll be plenty of good restaurants and stuff in Milwaukee, but I just told people to go eat there next to Adepticon in my video, and now it won't be back. Ahem. It just means you have to go to Combo Breaker to go back. Yeah, you know, Latin Hot, I'm at this point, I got old man reaction times. I'm just a member of the audience. I'll watch Combo Breaker from my house, but I ain't trying to go outside usually in any case. Certainly won't be competing or anything. I was never good enough to compete for sure. You know that level of good at a particular fighting game you get when you can't play with anyone you know because you destroy them and they don't have fun. But if you went to a tournament, you would get slapped. Like, into a pancake. That's about the level that's like the max skill I ever got, you know, at any fighting game ever was. I can't play with my friends because I'm too good, but if I went to an actual competition, even a local one, I would get turned into atoms, you know. But, yeah, reduced to ash, truly. But I like to watch. I'm a fan of watching it. Every mix-up works. There is no guessing, yeah. Throw looped in the corner 6 times in a row. How did he know? He's a genius. He doesn't know how to get out. Oh, stop it. You're just spamming fireball over and over. I'm controlling the neutral. Thanks. You're so cheap, you only use that one move. Then it sounds like you know what I'm going to do, so beat that one move. Problem? Igus was fucked up in that game. The green stuff. Coming in here with that mango sentinel. Upper lower tiers, what your friends call you because you don't hit the lab enough. Okay. You played Naoto badly. Cue up that video of Daigo saying you're gonna learn today. That wasn't Daigo, that was Justin Wong. He was cruel to that child, but the kid had to learn. Also, fuck them kids. Those two, Daigo and Wong, are inextricably linked, right? You believe it's pronounced Miles Wakay, which means the Great Land. It's pronounced Milwaukee, which means the land of hack frauds. And it's an ancient Algonquin for Tums Festival. Justin's lesson was not to play Mortal Kombat games. A great lesson. They're trash, but that's beside the point. The kid came back 10 years later and asked Justin for a run back. You don't know what happened after that? I mean, he's lucky the kid didn't come back and, like, stab him in the back or something. It was that evil? Oh, cool. NetherRealm's games suck ass, true. We love Red Letter Media here. Yeah. Funny guys. They're part of the really noble and august history of overeducated alcoholic Wisconsinites taking the piss out of everything. It's an honored tradition among us folks. You paid $60 for Injustice. You'll never forgive him for that. Eesh. What armies would Mike, Jay, and Rich collect and play? Definitely none, for sure. It's hard to say, right? Because, you know, online persona versus real life or whatever. But they don't. None of them strike me as having much of an interest in any of that stuff. But we could come up with a funny meme about their personas or something like that, I guess. Milwaukee, let's go. Yeah, sure. That's the sister city. Mm-hmm. What would Mike like? Mike would like probably LRL, right? Mike would like Luminath Realm Lords. Jay would like the most obscure shithouse fucking pretends it's artsy but actually it's just porno, so Slanesh, I guess. Oh yeah, Bone Splitters. True, Frank on the Rocks. Yeah, Bone Splitters. Never mind. Yeah. Jay plays Bone Splitters. Mike plays Lumineth. And Rich plays Nurgle for the memes, I guess. Rich is hardcore Skaven. Don't at you. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm switching to Skaven. I'm switching. Mike likes schlock, like ogres. Yeah, true. You could put Mike into a lot of stuff. It's so weird because he, like, doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would be interested in the game whatsoever. Fuck painting 300 rats? True. True! Mike is Nighthaunt for sure. Interesting. Interesting thought. What image shall I leave up? Cutting back and forth on that thumbnail game. Let's pretend for a moment if ogres went away, what army are you playing? Yeah, somebody asked me that before. Mike is Beast of Chaos and just heard the news. Yeah, Crow Roost. I think I'm saving it with that. That's it. If ogres went away, what army are you playing? I don't think any other army really has the play style of Beastclaw Raiders. That's my problem. I like fast charges, slamming into stuff, big impact hit damage, large elite models that I can customize really well. I like the charge phase. I could see, like, in a different world, if Adepticon had more monsters or something, a similar rule set or playstyle kind of there. I'm just talking about playstyles, I suppose. Aesthetically, you aren't beating Slaves to Darkness. They just look so sick. Some of the new Stormcast is looking pretty cool, but Slaves to Darkness aesthetically would have to be the call. Playstyle wise, geez, I don't know. Maybe IDK, but they don't actually play like that. They just kinda used to, but not even. I don't know what playstyle I would find. Plus the whole game's changing, all the war scrolls are changing up. Who knows what's gonna happen, right? I don't think everybody has to balance. You gotta balance how much you like the models, how much you like the lore, and how much you like the playstyle. And each orb that you are observing, that you are pondering, matters more or less depending for you, right? And some orbs you just can't ponder. I don't like orcs. I'm not trying to play orcs. That one's easy for me. It doesn't matter how fun they are, I'm just not interested in playing orcs. Same thing with Nurgle and Slaanesh and some other armies, you know. The aesthetic just doesn't hit me. Vanguard Slays the Darkness lists? I don't know. Would play this faction tier list? I could do that. Robert Curtis, hey man, thanks for catching the stream, big fan. Going to 150-person GT this weekend, bringing the Ogres, Frostwood on Stonehorn, Huskard on Thundertusk, Stonehorn Beast Rider, Yehites, Gorger Mawpack times 2. Oh. How have you found the Gorger Mawpack in testing? Obviously, they're fragile. They die when someone looks at them. And maybe they're expensive. But I think it's a good war scroll, and that's important. If you have a good war scroll, it means you're allowed to overpay for it, and it can still be fine in the game. I think I like the Gorger Mawpack. It's more than I want to spend points-wise, but I think the war scroll is solid and they have a use. I like the command point shut off, I like their attacks. You know, they die when someone attacks them, but it's Age of Sigmar. That's almost true of everything. Yeah, it's kind of like a teleporting glutton unit, really. Mawpack models are fucking enormous too, are they? I've seen them in real life, but they were next to Stonehorn and stuff, so I didn't get a proper size compare. Love them in Gutbusters, played 2-drop. Used them in Hrothgorn for null deploy first. Interesting. Put it like this, you can give a faction a Stonehorn equivalent. Which would you run with then? Oh. Yeah, probably Slaves to Darkness. Good fridge for Zeta. It just looks so sick. Some chaff, a bunch of Chosen, and then 3 Stonehorns. Let's fucking go. I'm in. Send size comparisons. Let's see. Size comparison. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're big. So this is the Ogre from Cities of Sigmar over here. Bastion Truck Thalos with helmet. And then Gorger. Actually, quite a bit wider, wide gaming, meatier, full hunch, and about as tall as the rest of them. Okay, yeah, Gorgers are kind of enormous. Big. Not bait. Not bait at all. Painted by our good friend 3 for free. Alright. For free? What would IDK 4 have to look like to play? For me to want to play them? If they deleted ogres or something like that? What do you think of the upcoming STD Lord Abraxia? I remember liking the mount a whole lot. I think the mount is extra cool. And one of the helmeted options is quite nice. I thought it was a great model. Really happy with it. Hey, hold on. Twitch really needs to tell me about the new Hyundai. Hey, alright. Nissan Al-Gaib. STD Bobby Briccolini got the best monster already. Yeah, sure. Swap head and Abraxia is perfect. That's what I recall. Gorgers are a good preview for what the Ogre refresh will look like. Dude, hopium. Straight hopium for sure. It's a handsome Stormcast lad. He's actually fucking huge for just a dude. Rivaling the size of an ogre or a gorger, kind of, at least in the same conversation. My man is big. She needs a helmet from the Horse Lord, yeah. It's got that 4 damage hammer slammer right there. Does Bastion come with the helmet option out of the box? Yes. He comes with helmet option, where he kind of has a dwarfly beard, right? His size makes you sad that Gordrak is just an alt build, yeah. Yeah, his lore is cool too. Yeah, I'm just a fan. Helmet is pretty nice. Alright, chat. It's time. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. TY very much. I hope you liked the chat. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you got some painting done while you were at it. From what we've seen so far, the new edition, are you optimistic or pessimistic? Cookie Parts, this may surprise you. Exclusively optimistic. I don't think I've seen a single rules preview. I'm talking rules. That I didn't think was a good idea. Like, everything has been... I'm reading all the rules and I'm like, nice. Ooh, good. Like, cool. I don't know. So far, I'm actually hyped about 4th. There was maybe half of one rule I was like, I don't know how that's gonna work out, but it doesn't count as a negative yet. And there's a potential charge one, but I think you're probably gonna roll as part of the announcement. It's looking super tight so far. They're stealing a lot from Magic, which is good. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited for it. Even they changed the scoring with the priority roll? Yeah, because that doesn't really matter. Like, it's kind of a nothing burger. The way you dealt with priority as a player who plays the game already is, if you win priority, you don't take a double turn ever, unless that single double turn will instantly win you the game. In all other situations, you just give it away, so that it's you go, I go. And then you're at the bottom of the battle round and you can have the next option next time. That's like the rule of thumb. If you win prio, don't take a double. Give it away. Unless you're definitely exactly going to win because of it. Then close the trap door, right? And the way they changed it is you can't score battle tactics if you take a double. Well, that doesn't change how everybody uses it anyway. You never took it unless you were going to win with it. And now, you just add another category into the equation about whether you take it or not, about whether you will win the game if you take it, but it's going to have an answer. And so people used to do it that way, they'll still do it that way. And it's sort of a way to change it without really changing it necessarily. So yeah, free shrugs. I like taking double turns, it's fun. I like taking extra turns in Magic, I like taking extra turns in Age of Sigmar. I think being uncertain about who goes next adds a lot of interesting skill testing deepness to the game that you might not think is obvious from first glance, I guess. Anyway, so there's that. Stick around, I might just raid somebody. Please be nice to them and say, hey, Age of Sigmar or something, I don't know. Welcome, Age of Sigmar. TY for watching, I'll see you guys Friday. We're going to talk about Magic the Gathering. That's a lie. Magic in AOS, supposedly. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. And cue the credits.